I think I'd like to start the panel discussion now, first by asking Michael Kreps. I wanted to say your name before I ask you the question. You know, do you have any reactions, you know, to what, you know, what we're talking about here? Is this something worth talking about? And, you know, whatever you'd like to say, Mike.
Sure. No, thank you. Before I say anything, I have to give my typical government disclaimer, which is my comments today are intended to be off the record. If you have any, you know, if you need an official position from my boss, Senator Harkin, or you want to get quotes or things like that, I'm happy to direct you, the press folks in the room, to our very talented press team. With that out of the way, I'd like to also thank Covington and Urban and the Pension Rights Center for putting this together, because this is just a critically important discussion. Gene started out today in his opening remarks mentioning some of the issues with the current private retirement system, and I think we really are facing a retirement crisis. We've been holding hearings in this committee for the past 2 years looking at the state of the current private retirement system and what people have saved for retirement and how prepared they are. And we've had testimony showing that there's a retirement income deficit, meaning the difference between what people need for retirement and what they have, of $6.5 trillion. $6.5 trillion. That is a huge number. And a quarter of people, a full quarter of people, have virtually no savings for retirement whatsoever. That's compounded by the fact that about half the workforce doesn't even have access to a private retirement plan. And so what we're really seeing here is what I've heard a few people refer to as the sleeper issue of our time, but I actually think it's rising to the forefront here. It's a serious problem where over the years, as the baby boomers retire, as folks start trying to retire at least, we're going to see more and more folks in poverty, more and more folks unable to work, unable to go out and hang telephone wire, or unable to wait tables anymore. Those people just aren't going to be able to work, and they're not going to have sufficient assets to support themselves in retirement. And we need to do something about that. We need to start making progress. We need, I think, to look at fundamental reforms that will improve adequacy, that will improve coverage. And that's why this discussion is just so very important. My boss, Senator Harkin, has been talking about some principles that he's been thinking about for looking at the retirement system. And those are, we need a retirement system that's universal and automatic, something that provides guaranteed lifetime income, something that's pooled and professionally managed, and something that shares the risk between employers, employees, and the government. And all of the proposals we've heard today have a lot of promise for satisfying those conditions and those principles, and really doing a lot of good for millions of people.
Thank you very much, Michael.